Good morning everyone and happy Vlogmas day 7. It is 67 degrees and I'm so happy! So it's going to get up to the high 70s today, but it's okay. Because we started off in the 60s and that's all I was asking for. That's a start. So it is Monday. I mean everyone already hates Mondays. Mondays are the worst, right? And I especially hate Mondays because at my job on Mondays I open and I close, so it's always a long day. So it's like I am already never looking forward to Mondays, and then my Mondays are my longest day of the week unless I'm working an event. So it's rough. It's a rough start to my week, but then it's all downhill from there. Downhill. It's all downhill from there. That's the free. Personally, I'm of the opinion that every weekend should be a 3-day weekend at least. But I don't make the rules. But if I did, 3-day weekends every time, because then I could go to a theme park, get exhausted, and have 2 days to recover instead of 1. Because now that I'm 31, now that I'm ancient and 31, I don't recover like I used to, especially when I'm sick. And a second day off would have just been so good. But it's okay. We're gonna get through this day. Lovely Vlogmas day 7. Okay, so I came home for lunch, which means we can check out the advent calendar for today. It's going to be, some cute little ornaments. And it's going to be, what is it? I'm honestly not entirely sure what it's supposed to be. It could be like some holly or a reindeer. I think it's supposed to be holly. I don't know. This is not exactly the best imprinted chocolate ever. So I'm off work and now it's time to do my grocery shopping for the week. I don't have to pick up a ton of stuff, but a little bit of grocery shopping is in order, so heading to Publix. So I just parked and I'm right next to this silver Mustang, and it makes me sad because that's the convertible version of my old Mustang. Tear for the old Mustang. I don't think I have any vlogs with the old Mustang because I think it was already gone by the time I started vlogging. Sad face. I loved my Mustang. So here's what I was talking about in my Publix. It's the fruit area with like the watermelon and everything. We got acorn squash, spaghetti squash, and butternut squash. Ready to go. See, I had that Mustang. I don't know how dark this is. If it's really dark, I probably won't leave this in, but I had that Mustang from 2004 through 2010. It was originally my dad's car, and I had like a crappy little neon. That was my first car. And it kept having issues, so my dad let me take the Mustang because I was in college. And so I traded up from a neon to a Mustang. It was a pretty good deal. So the Mustang was with me for my years of college, and then I moved to Colorado with it, and it became my little road trip car because 2009 I did an internship down in the Four Corners area, which is Colorado, Arizona, Utah, and New Mexico. And during the weekends I would travel all through there. So when I had time off, that's what I did. I just got in my Mustang and I drove, and I spent a lot of weekends in New Mexico or Utah. I never really made it to Arizona, I don't think, because that was like the farthest corner from me. But I just kept going to all the different ancestral Puebloan sites in that region because that's what I was studying in school. That Mustang was my buddy, and his name was Torpedo. And Torpedo and I did so many trips together. So in memory of Torpedo, I'm gonna put in a few pictures of he and I together, because whenever I was doing all these trips by myself, my roommates were all busy doing their own thing, and I'm perfectly fine doing things on my own. So I would go on these hiking trips alone, and so the car was my buddy, and I took pictures of him wherever we went. Is that weird that I took pictures of my car? It's back home now, obviously, but to finish that thought, it's one thing I've always thought about is I really wish that vlogging had been a thing or a popular thing in 2009, because the vlogs I would have had from that summer would have been so cool. Like I went to Hove and Weep in Utah. I did multiple trips to Mesa Verde in Colorado. I did multiple hiking trips there. I drove all through Colorado, did a whole bunch of different national parks there. Colorado National Monument. I went to Arches in Utah, Aztec, New Mexico, just a bunch of things in New Mexico. Just so many like cool sites, Durango, Colorado, Ouray, Colorado, these beautiful towns, these beautiful places, and didn't know vlogging was a thing yet, so all I have are pictures and memories. But man, those would have been some fun vlogs. Those would have been so cool, because like I said, most of those trips I was by myself, so I wouldn't have felt weird vlogging if I knew it was a thing. Just like a year behind YouTube. Oh. So sadly, no vlogs, only pictures, but man, they would have been cool. So obviously I was at Publix and I picked this up. I'm not sure how I'm going to feel about it, but it could be interesting. One of the main reasons why I ended up deciding to go for it was because, focus, it's distributed by White Wave Foods in Broomfield, Colorado. If you've been around for a long time or you're just really up on your Liz trivia, Broomfield, Colorado is where I lived during my last year in Colorado. Broomfield is basically a suburb of Denver. It's between Denver and Boulder, and that's where I lived for the last year in Colorado. So I was already intrigued by almond nog because I'm not a big milk fan, so I don't like normal eggnog. I figured maybe almond nog, maybe I would like it. And then the other thing that I picked up, Crispy S'more, Dave and Steph, we've been kind of, since they're also doing Vlogmas, we've been kind of chatting back and forth through our videos and through our comments. It's just kind of fun having a Vlogmas buddy, and we've been going back and forth. And so we had a big conversation yesterday about holiday traditions, the UK versus the US, because UK has like so many more cool things. And I think part of that is just because the US, we're such a melting pot that we have so many like random customs that are family customs and not as many like big nationwide customs, other like Christmas trees and Christmas lights and that kind of stuff. But we don't have mince pies, or we're not really big on the advent calendars and stuff like they're doing. So on that thought, I picked up one of my family's traditions, which is from my grandpa, and it's these Little Debbie Christmas tree cakes. At Christmas time, these were a staple in my grandparents' house. Sprinkles, but that was our deal, is that we put two out and then I would count the sprinkles to see who got the one with the most sprinkles. But this was something that my grandpa always had, and they're by no means like nothing super delicious, but it just reminds me of my childhood. It reminds me of my grandpa. So whenever I see them, I get them. Mike also really likes them. And something that my grandpa didn't do, but that I do, is I stick them in the freezer. I just think that they're a little better frozen, because I don't know why that is, but they just seem really good cold, and they don't get hard or anything. They just, I think because Florida, they get so melty so fast just because it's never cold enough that when you eat them normally they get like all melty on your hands, but if you put them in the freezer, they don't do that. So that is a family tradition of mine. So I'm going to change into pajamas now because, like I said, that's my first priority upon coming home. However, I went grocery shopping and I bought groceries and I've got all my healthy stuff for the rest of the week. However, the pub sub was calling my name. So specifically the chicken tender pub sub, which is like the least healthy pub sub that you can get, which is Publix sub if you're not like a Floridian. They're amazing. They're not healthy whatsoever, and I'm about to dig into that because it's just one of those days. I was grocery shopping, I'm like, oh, I don't want to cook tonight. I'm just not in the mood to cook tonight. Publix sub it is. So there it is. Publix chicken tender subs are delicious. They don't always look the most appetizing because by the time they wrap it up and everything, it just looks kind of sloppy, but it's got buffalo sauce on it and it's gonna be amazing. Tastes delicious, looks kind of ugly. So I've never really watched The Voice. I think I watched the most of it the first season it came out because I was living in Nebraska at the time, and I watched just for the novelty of it. But I do like watching the audition episodes because I think those are fun. It's the same way with me and American Idol. I like the audition episodes, and then once it gets into like the weekly stuff, it loses my interest. And this season, there's a guy on there called Jordan Smith. There's a guy, he's called Jordan. There's a guy whose name is Jordan Smith. And I saw his audition and was blown away. And so I've pretty much gotten stuck watching this entire season just because of him. And a lot of times I end up just watching it on demand and fast forwarding through the other parts. But there's literally nothing else on tonight. So I've been watching. But I think The Voice is smart, and I think they keep putting him at the end because I think they already know that he's probably going to win. And so that's what's happening tonight. I'm like having to slog through all these country singers and people I don't care about, trying to get to Jordan. So I think I might just nix it and put on Attack of the Clones and watch that instead, because Star Wars comes out next week. And I watched Phantom Menace during Star Wars weekends because I bought the series, I bought the whole thing on Blu-ray, and I was like, I'm gonna do a Star Wars marathon before I go to the Star Wars weekends. And then I got through Phantom Menace, and then I ran out of time, and I went to Star Wars weekend, so I never picked it back up. So I think I'm gonna put on Attack of the Clones and start preparing to go through the rest of the movies in preparation for next week. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I think that's going to be the end of my night, and so that's going to be the end of this vlog. But I will see you guys again tomorrow. Bye. Even Tijuana Flats is in the Christmas spirit. Ho ho hot. And they've got their little burritos and their tacos with gifts on them. It's adorable. I love you, T-Flats.